Years ago, I used to be a bank teller. That was a very long time ago. But while I was a bank teller, I developed the ability and the instinct to detect when I was handling counterfeit bills. Now, at first, I couldn't tell because they looked just the same. I mean, exactly the same. Same color, everything. In fact, to the untrained fingers, they feel the same. Okay? But when you handle it and snap it, there's a sound that a counterfeit makes that the real deal does not. In fact, the counterfeit does not sound like the real thing. It can't snap the same. And there's a feel, when you're counting it, I count money really fast, boom, 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 51, 52, 53, whatever. And all of a sudden I go, what was that? Something's wrong. I knew it was off. Like, that's not real. That's a counterfeit. And sometimes I find hundreds. People will come in with huge deposits and you think this whole thing is real, but something in there was fake. There was a counterfeit within. Now, what I'm trying to say here is this. Don't let anyone present to you something and tell you it is something it is not. If you don't know yourself what the real thing feels like, you'll be fooled. Someone who doesn't know what a real diamond looks like will say, oh, it's shiny. Look at that. But it's a cubic zirconia. Unless you know, you won't recognize it. So if someone comes to you and tells you, hey, this is what love is, but what they're showing you, something feels off and you can't put your finger on it, it's not love. There's some things the Bible tells you what love will do. It tells you how love behaves, okay? And God even tells you what what you should expect from love. There's an expectation. And when someone tries to condition you, life can condition you to certain things. I mean, I remember as a little girl, I went through some experiences that conditioned me to accept abuse, thinking it was love. So for many years, I accepted abuse because I did not know what love really looked like. So I would accept things that kind of look like love. It kind of feels like love. It sounds like love a little bit. Maybe this is it. But it never was. And the worst part is when someone tries to convince you that what they are presenting to you is love, but it is not love. People who can cook know this. When you can cook and you're good at cooking, you go to a restaurant, you know when it's garbage. You say, this fish is not fresh. Nope. Rice not cooked properly. Nope. It's not seasoned right. You know. And what happens is someone who cannot cook, who has no real experience, they may actually say, it's pretty good. This food is good. And you're like, no, it is not. This is garbage. Okay. You have to know for yourself. And the best way to know for yourself is to get in the Word of God and really have the Lord work on your heart. And sometimes the Lord will allow you to go through some experiences so you can recognize that is not love. And sometimes the experiences may not be that pleasant, but you had to know, you had to see, you had to learn. Because if not, you would continue to accept counterfeits. You would continue to drink poison thinking it's Kool-Aid. You would. And it comes a point where I think part of what I heard in my spirit was that my wholeness came from my recognizing what was not real. That was where my wholeness came from. Because until you recognize that, you'll continue to accept things that will continue to break you and wound you. Toxic things, toxic people. So hear me. Stop allowing people to convince you that something is what it's not. Like a con man trying to present something to you and say it's a real deal, but it's a knockoff. There are too many knockoffs out there. Too many knockoff people. Too many people presenting knockoff love. Knowing good and well it's not real. Knockoff friendships. Knockoff relationships. Knockoff not the real thing. So you deserve the real. And God would not give you something that's a knockoff. Because eventually, just like the money I snapped at the bank, there's a sound it's impossible for it to make. It can never give you that snap. It can't give you that real sound. Learn to recognize the real. You deserve the real thing. And stop lying to yourself. And as a matter of fact, stop giving yourself counterfeit love because you haven't learned what love is. Be baptized in the love of God. Read and research the Word of God and have God teach you what love is. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, will not perish, but have everlasting life.